Hey, Janet here. So with this video, I'm going to demonstrate the basics of what I do when I get started with a client. So the main things are, what are we going to be promoting? What is it that my client really wants to showcase or really put it in the spotlight, if you will? The other question is, who are we going to be reaching out to? And what are we going to say? How are we going to approach? Because when it comes to cold calling, technically a cold call is really that very first call. But it's also kind of when you first actually reach or speak with a decision maker. So there's sort of tips and tricks I can teach you so that a cold call really you can warm it up. There's a lot of ways to warm it up. So I use cold calls really because I enjoy it. It's fun when you have the right strategy, the right approach, and my clients are always the best. Of course they are. And so those are just some of the initial things that I look at. So today we're going to be promoting Florida Man Soap. And with Florida Man Soap, it's a men's skincare line. And this is actually my son's business, and he's doing some local markets. And there's my son Kyle. So he has Instagram, he has Facebook, he's got his website, and he's got it all set up. So most of my clients send me leads, the companies that they want to reach out to. They're companies that they would love to earn their business. But with this, because he really sells to the end consumer, what I'm going to do is develop a list of local companies and promote it because this is end of November, getting into December. So for the holidays, and just really kind of let people know. Actually, I think that's going to be my pitch, if you will, that we'll be promoting that he'll be at some local markets. And I'll ask the local businesses if they would. I'm I haven't quite yet put together a flyer, but that works really well so that they can print it out. And if they have if it's a retail location or even more of a business or industrial, they still probably have, staff or customers coming and going. So it's really just a way to get the message out. I could talk forever. I'm not really scripted. I kind of have my main points I want to uh, talk about, but when I'm not scripted, I tend to be long-winded, and I'm wanting to make this a short video. I'm not a professional videographer, so I'm hoping you'll bear with me. So I know who and what we're going to be promoting. The next thing is getting the leads. So I use Data Axle. Used to be called Reference Solutions, or maybe it still is, I'm not sure, but I call it the big daddy of data. It's a database that has pretty much every business in the country. So I'm really just doing local businesses. It's an 8.2-mile radius, and we want businesses with a valid phone number. So I have 258, which is quite a few, more than enough. And the market is this Saturday, so there's no way I can get to all of those. I'm doing this as to demonstrate what I do. And I was looking for a company that I could showcase to show an actual, what I really do. Now, I work with a main concepts and the basic ideas. As I call, uh, kind of get into more of the details. But keep in mind, I do not sell for my clients. The selling part is theirs to take over because I'm not the expert for their company. So the initial calls is really to identify, who would be best to send the information to, how could we get it out? Because this is going to be a little different that we're wanting everybody just to know about that he's going to be at the local market, which is Blue Moon Tropicals. So this is the email template, which is also a necessary component. And I have the subject line. It's real simple: introducing Florida Man Soap. And then I give an introduction. His slogan is wash that swamp off. And it starts out, why be sane when you can be Florida Man? And so it's just really fun. It's tons of fun. This kind of a promotion is just that. It's just fun. You really can't go wrong with promoting an event. So the first one is going to be Saturday, December 2nd, Blue Moon Tropicals. I give the address. It's their quarterly holiday edition, or they do a quarterly open house, and it's a special holiday edition. And then Saturday, December 9th, they're doing another event. And also, you can find Florida Man soap at Pity Fitness, which is in Apopka. So, this is the basics of what I do. And then I'll leave his Facebook page, and I guess I could put Instagram on there, but I'm trying to get the ball rolling. I don't really use Instagram. I have an account, but I'm not on there too much. I sell business to business, or I work business to business. And if you sell to consumers like Florida Man Soap, you can also call on businesses, but keep in mind you have to have the right approach in order to be received in a positive way, which is what we want. We want people to say, hey, thanks for calling. Thanks for letting us know about the event this Saturday, because these are local companies. They probably already know about Blue Moon Tropicals. Maybe some don't, though. Whether they do or don't, I have truly, when you approach in a really sincere, authentic way and be totally open and transparent, which is what I do, that's how I teach. I give my name, who I'm representing, and the reason for the call. We want them to come to Florida Man Soap. Hey, mention the lady that called, and you might even get a free sample. I might throw that in once in a while because I know he does give out free samples. That just kind of makes it extra fun. And even though it's a men's skincare line, he has a scent that's cinnamon. He said a lot of women like it, so I'm trying it. I love it. It's great. So that's the basics of how to get started with a call campaign. So I use the phone calls and the emails. And the other thing that I do is, for the most part, I will use my scripting and talking points will be the same as what is in the email. Now, I'll sum it up a lot on the phone when I actually call, and I'll introduce myself. My name's Janet Schick, and who I'm calling for, and that we're going to be at a local market this Saturday. Wanted to invite um, them and their staff. So it's a real simple intro, and they'll say, oh, okay, they may either want the information to write it down. I would say if I ask for an email to send information to, probably 80–90% will give an email. Some places it's just their policy not to. Again, I could talk forever about all the tips and tricks, but it's one of those things that you kind of learn as you go. So what I'm doing is more trainings. I'm going to be offering group trainings as well as a one-on-one where I actually work with you directly, get you set up, and I make calls on your behalf. I'll record my pitch so you get an idea of what to say, how to say it, and you can prepare for when people say, well, I don't think we're really interested or not right now, because it is the holidays. Sometimes you're going to hear that at the end of the year, people are saying, hey, it's just really kind of crazy busy for us. Can you call us after the first of the year? And I find when people say that, they really do mean it. They're just really not interested. And I've had people say, oh, we're getting ready to go on a trip to Europe for the next 6 months and we're retiring, or we just sold the business. Okay. Don't want to call on them again. Or you might, maybe if there's a new owner, you might want to call on the new owner. But I have talked to people, they just said, we're retired, we closed the business, and they're happy as a lark, so to speak. So with the group trainings, you can take the monthly, where we meet weekly on Zoom, you pay monthly. And because what I have learned about this type of work, I've actually had people sit, they listen, they watch. I can show them every day, all day long, but it takes kind of that hand holding to help walk them through the steps, because that's how we learn, in little chunks at a time. So even though I try to make this look really simple and easy, this took me a little bit of time to get it all set up. And also, I know that I start out with showcasing the best, but I know it's probably going to change because you always can improve upon it, or you might have a new promotion, or like the events might change. He may offer a special online pricing or an in-person, whatever it is. But this is more where I'm just getting um, things up and running. So with that, I'll say thank you for watching, and contact me if you would like for me to help you get started. And the best place to start is go to my website, phonecallsthatconvert.com, and I use Calendly to schedule, so you can schedule a time to speak with me. We could talk on the phone or do a Zoom meeting. I'm okay either way. Um, I find most people just kind of want to talk, and I can help you decide, are you ready? Because the list is one thing. Most of my clients have a list. If you don't have a list, I would say still try to get at least 10 or 20 companies that you'd like to earn their business. So at least I have an idea of what to look for in a prospect, because that can be a little tricky at times. Because like even here, there's just so much criteria to look at. And so it can be very overwhelming if you don't have the experience with putting together a list. And it can take a little time. Sometimes we'll try one thing and maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. But any which way, at some point you can kind of improve, just like anything. You get better as you go. So with that, I'm going to close out, and thanks again. I'm trying to find the